right, we can go ahead and get started. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good. My name is Brooke. I'm going to be your social worker today. And we're just here to talk about stuff that's affecting you, talk about the stresses of being in high school. Nothing too crazy. Before we get started, I did want to let you know that everything that we talk about is going to stay between you and me. I'm not going to go share it with other people. It's not going to get posted online or anything like that. The only reason that I would break confidentiality is if you had homicidal or suicidal thoughts. So if you're going to harm yourself, if you are planning on it, thinking about it, if you are going to harm somebody else, um, including a child or an elderly person, then I would have to report that. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Alrighty then. Well, I already know that your name is Claire, but do you mind telling me how old you are?
I'm 15.
You are 15. All right. And what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
A sophomore. Very good. How are you liking that?
I like it. It's better than freshman year. I
Yeah.
would say, yeah. I like sophomore year.
Yeah. What makes it better than freshman year?
Well, freshman year I was new to high school and I didn't really know what to do. And I was worried like I wouldn't know where my classes are, but now I know it's easy and I like the school a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always like you're always like nervous that you're not gonna be able to find your way.
I know, I was like, I'm gonna get lost.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I know where everything is.
Yeah, that's good. I had a similar experience when I got to high school and then again when I got to college, but in high school I walked around to where all my classes were to make sure that I knew where they were before school started.
Yeah, thankfully, I had an older sister and my mom that works there, and Chloe doesn't work there. She's my older sister,
Mm-hmm.
and she has been going there longer than I have, so I had her be able to show me around, which is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Are you close with your older sister?
We've been so busy recently. Like, we hung out a lot freshman year, but this year we're doing so many things. Freshman year we would go to Sonic after school a lot, and that was fun. But this year we haven't had the chance to do that because we've been so busy, like doing everything basically is what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure. So you said that you're both really busy. What are you involved in?
I'm involved with theater, basketball and soccer, so sports, and then classes, and yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it seems like you're pretty busy,
Yes.
jam-packed schedule. How early do you have to get up in the morning to do all that? Do you have stuff in the morning that you have to do?
No, I don't have anything in the morning, thankfully. Not this
Yeah.
year. But I get up at I should get up earlier, but I'm so tired at night. I don't get up till 7.
Yeah.
And then I get ready and then I go. I don't have to do much in the mornings to
Mhm.
just get ready. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as it's not making you late for school every single
Yeah.
day, then I think that you're probably okay.
Yeah.
You might as well get as much sleep as you can,
I know, just get an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah. So, you said you're involved in a lot of activities. Which one is your favorite?
Soccer.
Yeah.
I tried it this year and I immediately loved it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What influenced you to try soccer for the first time?
So last year, we went to a soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, that looks fun. I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I'm doing it next year. And then it came next year, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I was hesitant at first, but then I was like, no, I should try it because, you never know. And I like it more than basketball, and I've done basketball longer, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you that's a really good quality to see something that looks fun, something that you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to take the step to just go to try, even if
Exactly.
it's new or it might be you might be a little bit anxious about trying something for the first time, but yeah. So what is your favorite part of soccer?
The game and playing the game and being able to go against other people and learn more about the skills and hand dribbling the ball and scoring. Scoring is the best part. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So do you like the physical aspect of it, running around, competing, getting to do all of that?
Yeah, even though it's tiring, because the first game I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much longer than a basketball court. I was dying, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's good. So are you Are you close with any of your teammates? Are you friends with them?
I wasn't. I didn't know like anyone. I knew a couple of girls, but not enough to be like best friends. But I have gotten closer with a lot of them, and they're all really nice. Like, and they're all helping me. Like the first day I was there, even girls that I wasn't that close with, they were like, "Oh yeah, like you're doing great. Like you're doing good." Or like they'd help me, and I'd be like, "What's offsides?" I was like, "What? What did she just say?" I was like, "What's that?" And they like explain it. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad that they are, so accepting so quickly, like welcoming you onto the team, explaining.
Yeah, they weren't like, "Why is she here?" They were like, "Oh my goodness, like you're doing great."
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
That's good. So as you have a lot of activities and all of that. What about classes? Are there any classes that, because we're going to be talking about stress a little bit today. So do you find yourself being stressed out with any of your classes in particular?
Yes, the classes I take a medical class and my core classes, and then I have choir and I think that's it. Just like my core classes and then sports. And I really like the medical class. It's like a 4-year class. So far I've done one. I'm in the middle of the second year. Because the 4th year you get to go to the hospital, and that really interests me. And so that's why I'm taking this class all 4 years. And then chemistry, I would say, is the most stressful out of all of them. But yeah.
Yeah. So when you say that chemistry is stressful, what part of it is causing you to stress?
All the work and this, because it is a lot of work and it's a lot of complicated work, and getting behind adds more work, and then that's when it's like, oh my goodness, I have all these papers, but
right. You said getting behind causes more work. What causes you? Do you find yourself falling behind in class?
Yes, because last 6 weeks I was sick, and so I missed a bunch of school, and then when I got back, I didn't check my computer because like before COVID we didn't have the work on the computer, and now we do, and I wasn't used to that, and so I didn't do any of it online. And so then when I got back, my teacher was like, well, why didn't you do it online? I was like, well, I didn't think of that. And then it was like multiple assignments all at once, and then I had to do them, and I was just playing catch up while we were getting more work, and that is what got me behind.
Yeah. Whenever the school implemented doing your sick work at home online, do you feel that were you aware that you had that work, or was it just kind of something that you weren't told?
He told us about it. It's called Canvas. I've never done it. He's the only teacher that has done it. And usually it's Google Classroom. I have been checking Google Classroom, but it's all in Canvas for this particular class. And I was like, I mean, he did tell us about it. Like, half of it was my fault, but it honestly, like, it never crossed my mind. So when he got frustrated about it, then I was like, well, can't do anything about it anymore because it never crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that caused a problem between us. So, yeah.
Yeah. When was this that you got sick and got behind on work?
It was last 6 weeks. It was like probably at the middle, like in the middle of the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that can always be a very like stressful event whenever you are already behind and then they're adding more work, and then there's not really anything you can do about the situation that's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you can go back in time. And so with your teacher being frustrated with you, do you think that it was because he was having to spend the extra time? Do you think it's because he was concerned about you? Do you like what is your perception on why he was frustrated?
I think he was annoyed that I didn't do the work.
Mm-hmm.
He expected me to remember that we have Canvas. I think he thinks that every single teacher does Canvas, which I've told him. I was like, I don't even know what Canvas is.
Right.
And he didn't, I know it's not his responsibility, but he didn't email me, be like, make sure you're doing your work on Canvas.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been helpful. But I think he's just frustrated that I didn't do it, and that he has to give me all the papers, because I asked for them on paper, because I guess I could have just done them online, but I asked for them on paper, then I think he got even more frustrated with me.
Yeah. Do you prefer to do your homework on paper versus online?
Yes, I'd rather do it on paper, because one, I like writing with a pencil. I just feel like it helps me do my work better. Computer, also, I'm not very good at computer stuff, and I sometimes delete the work. And then I have to redo like 4 pages that I just did. So I don't really like doing it online.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm familiar with Google Classroom and Canvas. I've used both of them, and they are pretty different in how they're set up and where you can find your assignments and stuff. So, I mean, it's not far-fetched to think that it would be, frustrating to have to switch back and forth between each of the softwares. So are you still at odds with this chemistry teacher, or has that been resolved at all?
Not anymore. It has been resolved, because at first, like, when he got frustrated with me, I wouldn't go talk to him because I didn't want him to get even more frustrated. So then that led to not asking him for help with work. So then I would just be handing all this work and not knowing how to do it and not doing it, or like trying to do it and getting it wrong. Because I even tried looking it up, and that's not the same as he grades it. So that wouldn't have worked. And so I finally went to go talk to him, and that did help. Because like, he was like, I'm a straightforward person, I'm just going to tell it how it is. Doesn't mean I hate you, it just means like that's my personality. So I was like, yeah, I know. But he's told me multiple times, he'll be like, I'm proud of you for like moving, because I did move spots in the classroom. I was by these girls, or I was sitting there first, and they all came around me. So I was like, okay, whatever. They don't do their work. They don't do anything. And so, and it's at the back, and I liked sitting there. Like, I was paying attention at the first of the year, then they came in and just like sat there, and I was like, okay, well, I was sitting here first. But then I moved closer up to the classroom. Now I was able to focus, and like, and he'll stop, and like, if I'm like confused or like, wait, I'm not getting the same numbers, then he'd be like, okay, where are you confused? And then I tell him where, and then he could help me step by step, and so now I'm doing better.
Yeah, that's good. Talking to the person directly that you have an issue with is, to me, it's always a little intimidating because you don't know how they're going to react. But in my experience, I have found that it typically ends up working out pretty okay, as long as you're not going in guns blazing, angry.
I don't like confrontation. I don't want to. I don't know. It bothers me, but like, it was hard to like go to him, because I know how he is, and I was like, I don't want him to be like, well, sorry, your grade's not changing, because that's how I thought he was going to be. But now we are good, and I go to him, and he'll help me out, so.
Yeah. So what about confrontation do you not like?
I don't like calling someone out, or like being called out, because like, I don't want to make someone uncomfortable. I don't want someone to make me uncomfortable. It's just like not something I want to do.
Yeah. And have there been situations in the past where there has been confrontation and it did go poorly?
I mean, yeah, I can't really think of many, like, off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because, oh wait, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something, but I forgot.
No, it's okay. I mean, sometimes confrontation is not just with teachers or authority figures necessarily. It could be with a sibling. Your sibling is doing something that's annoying you. Anytime that you're saying like, hey, stop that, cut it out, that's confrontation. It may not be as formal as sitting down with a teacher, but we face a lot of confrontation all the time. Do you think that, there has been one example that we just talked about, a time that confrontation was good and it was necessary, and you got a positive result from that. You were able to handle things with your science teacher and everything was able to work out. Have there been other times that you've had confrontation like that it has worked out, or has this been kind of the first time?
Oh, there is another time. Basketball, my coaches weren't very flexible, and I would hate to be like, I don't like, okay, so practices will overlap, and I'll have to ask the teacher or coach. That's confrontation. I had to go up to him and be like, sorry, I can't make your practice because I have to go to someone else. I hate doing that because I know how they're going to react. And so my basketball coaches, they don't react. They react poorly. And so that's probably why I don't like confrontation. I didn't like it before, and they just make me not like it more.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, something like confrontation is not easy to do. A lot of adults still have a really difficult time standing up for themselves, standing up for, whatever it is that they're trying to bring to the table or advocate for. It's really difficult to get other people to listen sometimes. So I think it's a very positive quality that you have been able to face, those issues head on, even if it made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it can help, or like, I don't know, kind of make you stronger and being able to it can benefit you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you are your own number one advocate. Nobody knows your thoughts and your hopes and your dreams like you do. So if there's stuff that's bothering you and there's stuff that you want to accomplish, nobody knows that except you. I mean, not to the degree that you know it. And so if we always got to make sure that we're being assertive and bold and standing up for ourselves. If the opportunity presents itself, sometimes it could be, not a good time to be doing that. But if you're able to, then it's definitely always something to consider, something to at least try and do. So that is good. Working on confrontation in the future, do you think that could benefit you in the future?
Yes, I think it can. Especially in college or your job, then you're able to talk to people actually instead of just avoiding it.
Yeah.
And then it becoming a way bigger problem than it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of things that comes on with drama. Because people could just talk, but they don't. They avoid it, and then it just becomes bigger because people start talking, and then it just spreads like a wildfire.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of times, people are afraid to have that conversation, that honest conversation, because you just never know what people are going to say.
Yeah.
Generally, things end up, you have to get through the situation somehow.
Yeah.
So it can either explode, and maybe that person gets angry with you, or maybe they don't. Maybe they take it well. So, yeah, I can tell it's a very unpredictable situation sometimes, so it is hard to deal with. So things are better with your chemistry teacher, though.
Yes.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other areas in school? So, we talked about kind of your academic area. I guess while we're on that topic, you said you're in a medical class.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that, as you're moving through that, I'm guessing that this is kind of like a pre-nursing medical school type class. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Yes. So freshman year it's called health science. So you're basically, the first 3 years you're just in the books, basically. Sophomore year is medical terms, and we're just basically doing vocabulary terms of different systems. And then junior year, I think, is still in the books and just taking tests. And then senior year is when we can go to the hospitals and be new, interns, not interns, but interns for the, new people, just following people around, seeing how it works, which I think is really cool. And that interests me because I want to do something in the medical field because, I don't know, it's just, 8th grade year coming into freshman year, they had this, I don't know what you call it, seeing what classes and courses you could take, and they had all these poster boards, and I saw the medical one, and I went up and she told me about this, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take your classes. So that's how I got into the classes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very cool. A lot of high schools don't offer anything like that. So I'm guessing that since you're in this class where you're learning about medical terms and the human body and different things like that, are you wanting to go into the medical field?
Yes. This is making me want to do it more, especially knowing that I'm going to get to the point where I'm actually going to be in the hospital. And yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. What part of the medical field appeals to you?
A surgeon, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, but that just sounds cool to me. I think that's, a surgeon, because I don't really know there's so many different kinds, and I know it could change, but I would say surgeon.
Yeah. So do you have a specific moment whenever you decided to go into the medical field, like a certain incident, or is it just something that seems very interesting to you?
Something that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it's good to know kind of what field you're interested in and things like that, because not everybody knows what they're trying to do. Now you're in your sophomore year, and you know, this is kind of the time that people start looking at colleges, start trying to figure out what they're going to major in. Have you looked at colleges yet?
Yes, I'm in Talent Search, and it's our school. I think it's sponsored, not sponsored, or run by Woodford.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple kids can sign up for it, and we go basically visit colleges. We've only visited UTA. We were going to visit UT, but then COVID, like, we couldn't go there. And so UTA was really cool. I really liked that. It had a simulation hospital and, like, all that. Tarleton also, I think, is either has or is getting a simulation hospital. I don't know. That just sounds cool to me. But UTA, and Tarleton are, like, I think, really good medical schools.
Yeah. Tarleton does have a nursing program. I am not at all part of that world, so I don't know that I would be, I don't think I would be much help with all of that, but that is very, very cool that they are taking you to go see colleges and kind of trying to give you an idea of what a college campus looks like and how they all look different. So
instead of doing it all senior year and be like, okay, choose your college.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing you seem like you're glad that you're starting to think about college already versus worrying about it later.
I think that I would like college more than high school, just because high school has a lot of people and a lot of classes and people. It's hard to focus, and I think college is going to be very hard, harder work. And so I think it'll be better because smaller classes and you get like more time to study instead of, because college, I mean, you can do sports, but it won't be as jam-packed as high school is. And so I think college will be like more of a better experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more independence. You have a lot more free time in college. I mean, at least I did. A lot of people work through college, or they're still in clubs and organizations, or they join Greek life. So there's a lot more freedom in like what you're wanting to join. You're not forced to be on a sports team. You have to take a kinesiology elective most of the time you can take a class like easy walking where you just get up and you walk in the mornings for class. Like they're not making you compete necessarily with other schools. So that's good. So do you think that other students, like that everybody should be thinking about college at this stage, or do you think that it's different for everybody? Do you think that you shouldn't have to be worrying about college at this point? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think that it would be nice not to just like rush and be like, okay, I want to go to college, but to just like have an idea instead of it all coming down to senior year. I think it's nice to like have these different programs and have these different like ways to look at colleges, and not rushing and being like, I'm ready to get out of high school, because I know high school can be fun, but I think it's nice to have it somewhat planned out so that it's not just like overwhelming senior year, so that it's like, okay, senior year can be a breeze and then it can just ease into college.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a lot better whenever you kind of spread it out if you're able to. Yeah. So you said that you think that you're going to enjoy college a lot more than high school. Are there parts of high school, other than, what we just talked about with your chemistry teacher and your basketball coach, are there other parts of high school? It could just be the way it's structured, how many classes. It could be, something more specific like a teacher or a classmate or something like that. But are there other elements of high school that you're not enjoying as much?
I would say, just like for me personally, I mean, I like all the people around, but it's like all these different like cliques, and the way it's set up is fine, like, but I mean, I don't really know, like high school is like, it's fun, it's just I feel like college will be more beneficial. I mean, like, not saying I want to like start my life and everything, but I think college is like, I can be more organized in college, and I can take what classes I want instead of talking to the counselor and be like, well, you have to take these certain classes. Instead, I can be like, well, I want to take this. But high school, I don't know. I like it for the most part. It's just some things I'm obviously not going to like. But for the most part. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of literally every aspect of life that are just not always going to be that enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I totally get that. So as you go through high school, you know, obviously you're a sophomore, you have 2 more years, you kind of have to be there. When you do get stressed out, in what ways are you coping with that stress?
Soccer is one of the ways
Mm-hmm.
Because when I go to soccer practice, like when I went to basketball practice, I was like, oh, I don't want to be here. But soccer, I'm like, I want to be here. Like I can't wait to go to soccer. Like can't wait to go to a game. Also with music, like theater, that's another way because I remember 6th grade year, the musical is what got me through 6th grade year, and it's like an outlet. I think soccer and the musical and the extra stuff I'm in is like an outlet to all of the stress of high school.
Yeah.
And you can let your anger out in soccer and you can push a girl down.
Oh my goodness. That's true. There's a lot of physicality in
There
sports.
is.
There's a lot of physicality in theater too. You're
Mhm.
moving around, you're singing, you're handling props,
And
you're
you're- You're something you're not, and you know what to say, and you can like know what to do next, and like yeah.
Yeah, there is some comfort in being in a scripted setting
Mhm.
versus life that is very unscripted. Do you think that the fact that life is unscripted and it's a little bit unpredictable, do you think that that's something that kind of maybe causes you stress?
I probably just because like you don't know always what's gonna happen next, or like you don't know what topic you're gonna learn next. And in theater, you do.
Mm-hmm.
You can just say it, but
Yeah.
in life, you can't always do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no. High school is kind of one of those times where it's a good opportunity for you to kind of find out what you're interested in and kind of who you are as a person. So picking up coping strategies and finding out ways that you deal with stress. You know, when you get stressed out, some people cry, some people get angry and they start yelling. Some people shut down completely and they are just quiet for the rest, for the rest of the time that they're stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us do all three. Sometimes all at once. Sometimes you pick one each time. I mean, everybody deals with stress in some way, and it can either be negative or it can be positive. So it seems like you have found some good outlets for dealing with your stress. So it seems like you have kind of got at least a little bit of a handle on that. Is there any part of high school, just in general, that is causing you stress other than what we've talked about?
Probably the work and just a lot of it, and it being a lot. And sometimes, like recently, I've been up so late doing homework that I'm late on, and so I would say that is probably the
Right.
Mhm.
So do you think, you said that you're late on a lot of homework. Are you late because you got sick last 6 weeks, or is this related to a different issue that maybe you're having?
Well, I honestly, I haven't been missing much school lately, but sometimes I do for leaving early for games, and I will be missing school. Like tomorrow, we're doing a marathon day, so I won't be in any of my classes, which doesn't exactly help the work. So I think it's just like, because I like musical theater. I like that I don't have to go to classes, but then I'm going to get the consequences of all these papers. And then I'm going to be like, well, now I've got to do these all. And then the next day I go, it's just going to be more. And so I'm going to have all these papers for Monday, and then they're going to give me more work Tuesday, and then it's going to build to Wednesday, and then I'm going to be up all night and working on it. And so then that's what stresses me out.
Yeah. Do your teachers allow you to turn in your work a little bit later than your classmates who were in class, or are you expected to turn that in when it's due?
I think they will if I talk to them. So tomorrow morning I would probably have to go talk to all of them. But my honors teacher, I have 2 honors classes, and one of them is like no late work. So unless, I'm pretty sure if I talk to her, she is pretty reasonable sometimes. My other one, like they just expect us to do more, which is reasonable because we're in honors. But I think they'll understand if I talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is another example of using those skills of confrontation and being willing to speak to that person directly and dealing with that issue head on, because I mean, a lot of times, I mean, these teachers, I can't speak for all of them. I'm sure that there are teachers out there that do not fit in this, but I would say a lot of teachers are there because they want to help kids. They want you to learn. They want you to do well. They're not there because they dislike children or they dislike teaching. And so I think that a lot of times teachers can be it can be intimidating because they're an authority figure. But speaking to them directly, like you did with your chemistry teacher, like you did with your basketball coach, even if they don't take it well, at least they know that you're feeling that way. And maybe that next time they'll ease up a little bit once they've had some time to think about it and process it. So, yeah, it's definitely difficult to do confrontation, but I think it's well worth it. So with all of that, are you thinking that you said you are gonna go talk to them tomorrow morning?
I think I should, because instead of just letting it happen, because I know it's gonna happen, so why would I shouldn't just let it happen.
Yeah.
So I think I will. That way I can get my work, and when I'm not on the stage, maybe I can work on it.
Right.
I don't know if other schools do this, but we do have a tutorial class, and I have 2 classes with my mom, and so that's helpful because then sometimes I'm not doing anything in that class, and then that gives me more time to do work. So that's nice that we have tutorials, and then I can go visit other teachers and I can get on my work. So I think I will go talk to them.
Right, that's good. You said marathon day. Is that for a theater?
Yes, it's for one act.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I mean, definitely getting your work early, being proactive and talking to them, I think that would really help you not feel so stressed out. It would give you the time and the space to at least know what you're going to have.
Yeah.
Instead of getting home and checking online or getting to school the next day and seeing all the stuff that you missed is overwhelming, and when you're seeing it in post like after.
Yeah, last time we had she pulled us for the musical. Instead of going and talking to them, I waited till the next day. I don't think it ever crossed my mind to go talk to them, but either way, I waited, and then I was like, what did I miss for class? And then I got like 3 papers all at once, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be overwhelming that way, because then you're also getting that day's work.
Exactly.
So, even if you get 10 assignments that you have to do tomorrow, at least you have time to do them while you're at your theater practice, and you at least have time to do them as homework. So even if you only finish 4 or 5 of those assignments, you're already halfway done. So it's not going to be, here's 10 assignments on Tuesday and also the 10 more that you had anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me. I think that I've covered all the things that we were here to cover. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Any other questions?
No. Yeah.
All right. That's excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me.
Yes, you're welcome.